We begin tonight with breaking news. United States Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has died. I'm Shannon Heggie.
And I'm Kim Kalunian. The 87-year-old passed away from complications of pancreatic cancer.
12 News correspondent Nicole Killian has a look back at Ginsburg's historic career.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a star in the legal world, but most Americans learned her name in 1993 when President Bill Clinton tapped her for the Supreme Court.
I, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, do solemnly swear.
Poised and soft-spoken, she was a native New Yorker with a stellar resume and only the second woman ever picked for the nation's highest court. But decades earlier, after graduating from Columbia Law School, Ginsburg had to fight her way along the career path. She had the full support of her husband Martin, but being Jewish, a woman, and a mother, she said, were three strikes that put her out of the game. Rejected by law firms, she took a job as a law clerk, then a professor. In the 1970s, she started the Women's Rights Project at the ACLU.
Having experienced discrimination, she devoted the next 20 years of her career to fighting it.
Ginsburg took on a series of landmark cases dealing with gender equality. She argued 6 cases before the Supreme Court and won 5. And she welcomed President Clinton's nomination, not just as a personal achievement, but as a step forward for women.
It contributes to the end of the days when women, at least half the talent pool in our society, appear in high places only as one-at-a-time performers.
One of the High Court's more liberal voices, Ginsburg consistently supported civil rights, and she issued a strong dissent in the Bush versus Gore case, which decided the 2000 election. But she also voted with her conservative colleagues. She called the late Antonin Scalia her best buddy, and the two put ideology aside to share their love of opera and adventure. But she raised a political flap during the 2016 presidential race when she called Republican Donald Trump a faker. She later said she regretted her remarks but stopped short of an apology. Ginsburg has had several health scares. In 2018, doctors removed 2 growths from her lungs, causing her to miss 6 days in court. She survived colon cancer and 2 incidents involving pancreatic cancer. Her refusal to step down and her unparalleled work ethic earned her pop culture icon status.
It was beyond my wildest imagination that I would one day become the notorious RBG.
It's a great quote. Ginsburg lost her husband in 2010 after 56 years of marriage, but she was back in court a few months later for what she called an exhilarating development.
That was when Elena Kagan joined her and Sonia Sotomayor on the High Court. Another milestone for the women's movement, which Ginsburg, of course, helped to pioneer. Now, this is only the second time in U.S. history where there's been a Supreme Court vacancy this close to a presidential election.
And tonight I spoke with 12 News political analyst Joe Fleming about how the loss of Ruth Bader Ginsburg will impact the upcoming election. Joe, obviously this is going to have huge implications on the presidential race. Talk to us about how this completely changes the game.
Well, it's going to change the game in the sense that Donald Trump's going to really try to motivate his troops by saying we get a 3rd conservative justice during my term on the court. At the same time, for the Democrats, the liberals, they're going to get motivated now because they're going to try to really push Joe Biden through, hoping that they could hold the nomination up until the new president's elected. And turn it will be Joe Biden, and he can get his people in there. So I think this is going to give both sides motivation to really work hard over the next 46 days.
What is the reality that President Trump is able to pick a nominee and get that nominee confirmed before the election? That
is a possibility. I'm not sure it'll happen before the election. They would have to go very fast to do that. I would think it would possibly be a lame session of Congress after the election. But I would think Mitch McConnell may try to push it through before, if possible. The problem is you have some Republicans in the Senate who are in very tough races that are actually trailing right now. And if they vote on this before the election, it could hurt their chances for re-election.
12 News analyst, political analyst Joe Fleming, thank you as always for joining us.
Pleasure.
And condolences are pouring in tonight, including from Rhode Island Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, who is, of course, a senior Democrat on the Senate Judiciary Committee and will have a prominent role in the process to fill this empty seat. Whitehouse saying in a statement, quote, "For one night, let us just focus on the career of this remarkable woman, her courage, her grace, her tenacity, her dignity, and her contribution to the law."
And Rhode Island Senator Jack Reed adding, quote, "Justice Ginsburg was an American original and a legal pioneer. Every single American is a beneficiary of the legal victory she fought for and won."
And right now we want to give you a live look outside of the Rhode Island State House, where people have gathered for a candlelight vigil to mourn the loss of the 87-year-old and to celebrate her life. Our crew there telling us the group of about 60 people includes a handful of sitting state representatives, many of them women.
Roger Williams University School of Law Dean Gregory Bowman tells 12 News he saw Justice Ginsburg speak this past January and has seen her during oral argument at the U.S. Supreme Court. A short time ago, we spoke with Dean Bowman, and he reflected on Ginsburg's legacy and her visit to the law school 2 years ago.
Oh, I think that's going to be multifaceted, and I think we're going to be appreciating that for decades to come. She was a champion of justice and expanding rights for all. She was a defender of the Constitution and the best ideas and ideals in that Constitution. When she was at Roger Williams in 2017, she told us that we the people at first only meant white men. But as we have grown and matured as a nation, we have come to understand and appreciate that that means we the people, everyone.
And we have more from Ginsburg's visit to Roger Williams University and an in-depth look at her life and career right now on WPRI.com.